Next up, podcast listeners, we have a battle for the Senate. For the United States Senate, as you guys know, is very closely divided between Democrats and Republicans. The Democrats have a 2-seat advantage. So, former Navy SEAL, this Navy SEAL has announced, that he is running to unseat Jon Tester in 2024. That's a big deal because Senator Jon Tester is a Democrat from Montana, and Montana should clearly have a Republican elected in the United States Senate. There should be no Democrat elected to the United States Senate from Montana, yet Jon Tester has nonetheless managed to stay in the Senate. Well, this Montana Republican businessman and former Navy SEAL, his name is Tim Sheehy, he announced his candidacy Tuesday to unseat Senator Jon Tester next year. The National Republican Senatorial Committee, Chairman Senator Steve Daines, has been encouraging Sheehy to enter the GOP primary field, where he could face House Freedom Caucus member Representative Matt Rosendale. Sheehy drew on his time serving in Afghanistan after 9/11, as well as his entrepreneurship in Montana, while pledging to focus his campaign on service, God, and country, according to his video. Quote, "Whether it was in war or business, I see problems and I solve them. America needs conservative leaders who love our country, and that's why I'm running for the United States Senate," Sheehy said in an interview. "I want to create a better future for my kids, your children, and grandchildren. Our campaign is about service, God, and country, not politics as usual." Well, of course, can you imagine saying that in a blue state? You'd be canceled right away. Service, God, and country? You can't say that. Oh my God. But here's the thing. I'm mentioning Montana because this should be a pretty easy pickup for the United States Senate for the Republicans, as well as defeating Manchin, Senator Manchin from West Virginia. I mean, that's the other one. So clearly, the Republicans are set, in my opinion, to at least pick up those 2 seats. And then from there, the Democrats are defending many more seats than the Republicans are in 2024. And this is why it's so important the Republicans elect a very good presidential candidate that lifts people up in those Senate races and congressional races during the overall presidential contest, lifts them up so that he has coattails, or that she has coattails, and lifts up all those candidates and brings them across the finish line so the Republicans maintain control of the United States House of Representatives. And at the same time, they do what? At the same time, the Republicans actually take the United States Senate. That is really important because if you really, truly want to bring America back to common sense, if you really want freedom of speech, if you really want freedom of movement, if you really want private property rights to get the government and keep the government the heck out of your property and out of your home, to tell you how you should cook, what you should eat, where you should live, how you should live, then I think it's pretty clear that there's only one party that is about true freedom of movement, true privacy, and true freedom of speech, and that's the Republican Party. And so don't forget that who you vote for and elect, and I'm not telling you who you should, in the primary for President of the United States, when it comes your time to vote in a primary for president, you need to make sure that person can clearly win in November of 2024. And I'll look, for full disclosure, my wife's a Trumpian. Okay, she is. And I'm a DeSantis guy. All right. My dream ticket would be DeSantis and Senator Scott. That would be my dream ticket. My wife, forget it. I mean, she's all in on Trump. And there are plenty of you out there in podcast land that are exactly the same way. I know that. By the way, I respect your opinions. I get it. But please keep in mind that a president really can't move the needle unless the president is able to do what? Have a United States Congress that can actually help him or her get legislation across the finish line. So you need a friendly Congress, is what I'm saying. And you need a president who can help those individuals not just get elected, but stay elected for the entire 4 years of your presidency so that you can actually truly get meaningful things done for the American people and bring the United States back to common sense. So please keep that in mind.